Darth Plagueis' final decades were dedicated to one singular goal. Sure, he was focused on bringing the Sith Grand Plan into being, but there was a more important goal that the Sith Lord sought: the pursuit of immortality through the manipulation of midi-chlorians. Through the combination of science and the Force, Plagueis would sustain his own life, ensuring that the being known as Darth Plagueis would live forever, with his consciousness intact. Although his endeavor was a unique one, Plagueis was close to achieving his goal, learning to manipulate the midi-chlorians to both kill and revive the dead. In many ways, Plagueis was on the verge of greatness. So then why did Darth Sidious, who also had the goal of achieving immortality, kill Plagueis without learning the ways of his master in midi-chlorian manipulation? In this video expose, I will explain why Sidious didn't need Plagueis or his work with midi-chlorians to achieve immortality, looking at how a more pragmatic and attainable process was available to achieve his goal. To understand why Plagueis' work wasn't of interest to Sidious, it should first be pointed out that Sidious had no understanding of Plagueis' efforts with midi-chlorian manipulation. The Dark Lord could easily admit this, recognizing that Plagueis had a unique gift in the science of darkness, a gift that Sidious had no knowledge of himself. Thus, even if Sidious wanted to mimic Plagueis' process, he would never be confident in this area, as only Plagueis ever truly pursued immortality in this way. Not only that, but whereas Plagueis reveled in the scientific process involving midi-chlorians, Sidious had no enthusiasm for the process himself, and cared only about the results he could achieve. Therefore, even if he wanted to learn how to accomplish what Plagueis had, he knew it would be a daunting and difficult task. While he had mastered the dark side arts of deception, fear, and anger, Sidious had no natural gifts with the science of darkness in the form of midi-chlorian manipulation. Fortunately for Sidious, he always understood that Plagueis' quest for immortality had been too narrowly focused, and there was another option available to him. While the midi-chlorians may indeed grant the power of immortality, Sidious also knew that another area of exploration was more attainable. This was the dark science of Sith Alchemy, a process that would utilize Sidious' strengths with the Force and dark side. And after Sidious was able to recover the writings of Source of Sin from the Jedi Temple after Order 66, he knew his confidence had paid off, finding a new process that was exceptionally adept at twisting life through the dark side. While Plagueis attempted to use midi-chlorians to prevent his body from being consumed by the dark side, always ensuring his consciousness existed within his original body, Sith Alchemy could be used to effect change on the physical, to create any shape Sidious desired through the dark side that could serve as a vessel for his consciousness. And this is exactly what Sidious did. While he would become an accomplished master of alchemy himself, the process of using the dark side to create clones for himself was perfected by his dark side adepts on the planet of Biss. Here, upon Sidious' secret throne world within the deep core, Sin's alchemy was perfected to create an endless supply of clones in which to further his goal of immortality. Sith Alchemy had granted Sidious the building blocks for his ultimate goal that he could never achieve through midi-chlorian manipulation. But there were two more elements that would be necessary for Sidious to successfully achieve immortality: the dark side force powers of essence transfer and dark transfer, the former of which Sidious did ultimately achieve and utilize. Through essence transfer, Sidious ensured his consciousness could be transferred into another body, which would be one of the clones forged through his Sith Alchemy. While dark transfer would ensure that if he ever died before transferring his consciousness to a new form, he could bring himself back from the brink of death, and even if he was killed, could restore himself to physical life, allowing his consciousness to enter a clone. This was a feat unattainable through Plagueis' methods. In the end, through the dark side and Sith Alchemy, Plagueis' efforts with midi-chlorian manipulation was unnecessary for Sidious to achieve immortality. He wouldn't have to rely on his master for eternal life. Sidious could use Sith Alchemy to create endless clones to house his consciousness, and through the dark side abilities of dark transfer and transfer essence, he could ensure his consciousness survived. So there we have it, why Sidious didn't need Plagueis to achieve immortality. We love making these videos, so why not subscribe for more fun Star Wars theories and discussions? Also, if you enjoyed the video, think about giving a like or leaving a comment. Or perhaps follow us on Twitter at SW Reading Club for updates regarding the channel, or support the channel through Patreon for access to exclusive rewards and discussions. If not for me... for doing things the hard way.